Starting May 1st, E15 gasoline goes on sale at thousands of stations across America. What sounds like a discount could be the most expensive mistake you ever make. In this video, we're revealing different categories of cars that should never use E15. The worst one can leave you with a $15,000 tab that your insurer won't touch. At the end, I'll also reveal why even compatible cars should stay far from this death sentence. Number 7. Pre-2001 vehicles. This is the one the EPA warns you about. Every single car built before 2001 used fuel system components made from rubber compounds designed for straight petroleum gasoline. We're talking hoses, gaskets, O-rings, and diaphragms. While these cars might be able to run on E10, E15 is a death sentence. Switching from E10 to E15 means that there is now 50% more ethanol in your gas tank, or 50% more destructive power in old engines. Ethanol is hygroscopic, which means it pulls moisture out of the air and brings it into the fuel system. That exposes metallic components to increased risk of corrosion, and we'll talk about that some more later. The other problem with ethanol is that it is a solvent. That means it swells, softens, and eventually dissolves older rubber components from the inside out. We're not talking about a gentle drip of fuel over time, but a flash flood. Think about it this way. Imagine an old garden hose that has been sitting in the sun for decades. It has already been pushed to its limits, and it's beginning to crack. Then, apply rubbing alcohol all over it. That slow march to death becomes a fast track to engine failure. It's not just the EPA that has warned against using ethanol in old cars. The American Automobile Association, AAA, has also highlighted these risks. From a mechanic's standpoint, you could spend between $1,500 and $3,000 fixing fuel system repair. Next, let's look at the other category of engines that should never use E15 gas. Number 6. Motorcycles, ATVs, boats, and small engine equipment. If it's good enough for your car, it should be good enough for your gas-powered equipment. Not anymore. The EPA specifically exempts motorcycles, ATVs, boats, lawn equipment, chainsaws, and generators from using E15. That's not the fine print. It's a federal prohibition you can't afford to ignore. E15 contains 5% oxygen by weight compared to 3.5% for E10. This causes a lean condition, or enleanment if you want to get technical. This means the engine runs with too much oxygen and too little fuel. Unlike cars, this equipment doesn't have clever ECUs and sensors that can adjust the fuel to match the oxygen flow. When boats, lawnmowers, and motorcycles run lean, the engine runs at high temperatures. This leads to damaged pistons, exhaust valves, and cylinder heads. You're looking at over $2,000 in repairs for a motorcycle, but the damage doesn't end there. Because ethanol is hygroscopic, it wreaks havoc on boats and other engines that sit idle for long periods. As the fuel absorbs water, it forms corrosive acids that disintegrate the metal in the fuel line. And just like with old cars, the ethanol will damage the rubber and plastic components. So, from now on, whenever you buy gas in a keg, pay attention to the nozzle. Let's get back to vehicles now, and a mistake that can cost you $5,000. Number 5. Turbocharged engines in non-flex fuel vehicles. Here is the first major problem the EPA doesn't warn you about. Turbocharged engines run hotter and under higher cylinder pressure than naturally aspirated engines. That means anything that can cause the engine to burn even hotter is a huge threat, and E15 fits the bill. Because ethanol has lower energy density than gasoline, it requires more fuel to achieve the same power. This leads to the lean condition we mentioned before with motorcycles, but this one is way more dangerous. If the ECU isn't able to adjust the air-fuel ratio fast enough, this will push the combustion temperatures even higher. This will lead to melted pistons, burned valves, and even catastrophic turbocharger failure. You're looking at a $4,000 for the turbocharger alone. If this shreds your engine, that's another $4 to $5 grand, and all because you wanted to save a few cents on the dollar. And this isn't theoretical. A 2012 study by the Coordinating Research Council found measurable engine wear across several vehicle types running E15 compared to E10 under. The tests were based on real-world conditions and were enough to scare the AAA. Just because the findings have since been buried doesn't mean you also have to bury your beloved car. Even if your turbocharged engine is designed for E15, use it only as a last resort. As for the next type of vehicles, there is no such wiggle room. But before that, it's time to hit the like button and click subscribe. We share weekly content that saves drivers thousands of dollars each year on repairs, maintenance, and scams. All set? Let's continue. Number 4. 2001 to 2015 vehicles not certified for E15. The EPA has a history of blending the truth, and this is one of the worst. The environmental agency claims that all cars made after 2001 are compatible with E15, but this is not correct. Many manufacturers did not approve E15 for any of their cars, even until about a decade ago. Doing so would automatically void your warranty if E15 damage was found. While US automakers were quicker to approve E15, European and Asian carmakers held out for as long as possible. Why? We'll get into that in the second part of this video. For now, if your car was made outside the US, check your manual to see which fuels are allowed. For example, all pre-2015 Chrysler, BMW, Hyundai, Kia, Mazda, Nissan, Subaru, or Volvo models were not E15 compatible. The fuel sensors, oxygen sensors, and catalytic converters for these model years weren't calibrated for E15. Running E15 in these cars would cause oxygen sensor drift, catalytic converter overheating, and EVAP system failures. Replacing the catalytic converter could cost you over $2,500 and a couple of hundred for the oxygen sensors. If your car was made before 2012, look for a yellow cap or a flex fuel badge. If you don't see either of those, your car can't handle anything above E10. Of course, even cars made in the 2020s might not be approved for E15, especially if they fall in the next category. Number 3. High-performance, naturally aspirated engines. We talk a lot about mods on our channel, and we've covered in detail 5 mods that can kill your engine. But because of the new E15 mandate, we're adding a 6th. Never switch to E15 without a retune, unless you're willing to wreck the car and your life savings. Performance engines run aggressive ignition timing and high compression ratios, and they are tuned to a specific fuel chemistry. When you introduce E15, you're changing the stoichiometric ratio, and here's how. Ethanol requires approximately 34% more fuel volume to produce the same power as gasoline. If the fuel injectors can't supply that extra juice, you end up with too much air in the combustion chamber. When you combine lean condition with high compression and aggressive timing, you get detonation. That pinging or knocking sound could be the last thing you hear before your engine completely shuts down. Even when detonation doesn't last long, it can hammer the rod bearings, flatten the piston ring lands, and crack the head gasket. For a 5-liter Mustang Coyote engine, you're looking at over $15,000 to replace the engine. That's why you should never use cheap fuel in modified cars. Even though most stock engines can handle E15, one ECU glitch can cause serious damage. Play it safe and don't be cheap. The same thing applies if your car has the next modification. Number 2. Vehicles with fiberglass or plastic fuel tanks. There was a time when every sports car came with a fiberglass or plastic fuel tank. While those days are mostly gone, some specialty cars still have those. These modifications are lighter than steel fuel tanks, but they have a massive ethanol problem. As you know by now, ethanol is a solvent, and the higher its concentration, the more potent it is. At E15 concentrations, it begins to degrade fiberglass resins and certain plastics. Most modern tanks use high-density polyethylene, HDPE plastic, which is completely impervious to E15 gas. However, if the fuel tank is made from polycarbonate or polystyrene, it's a goner. As the ethanol degrades the plastic, microscopic particles are released into your fuel supply. They travel straight past your fuel filters and start piling up in the fuel injectors. While this won't immediately destroy the fuel injectors, it will cause inconsistent spray patterns. This will lead to lean conditions, poor engine performance, rough idling, and even stalling. Replacing a full set of injectors can cost as much as $2,500. But that's not all. You will also need a new fuel tank, which can also cost up to $2,500. Of course, none of these repairs will be covered by your warranty or your insurance because you didn't read the fine print. If you own a custom ride, especially one that was made in Europe, make sure the tank is E15 compatible. As for the final warning, This applies to all cars, no matter how modern. Number 1. Vehicles in hot climates. This is the one no government agency wants to talk about because it exposes ethanol's biggest flaw. For years, the government discouraged the sale of E15 blends in summer, fearing they would cause smog. What they conveniently left out was the potential damage to cars on sunny days. This all boils down to read vapor pressure, RVP. RVP measures how quickly a liquid evaporates at high temperatures. Ethanol reduces the RVP of gasoline and can cause a situation called vapor lock. This is when liquid fuel turns into gas in the fuel line. Instead of flowing smoothly, the gasoline in the fuel line bubbles, making it difficult for the car to start. But when the car gets going, you will experience sputtering, jerking, poor acceleration, or even stalling. While vapor lock itself won't cause permanent damage, the consequences can still be deadly. Imagine trying to overtake on the highway when all of a sudden, your car decides to stall. When your car stalls, you have to wait for it to cool down before you can drive it. Driving with vapor lock also puts stress on the fuel pump. Still, the $1,000 repair is nothing compared to the cost of being rear-ended for failing to merge onto the highway properly. If your car is already vulnerable to fuel delivery issues or vapor lock, don't touch the E15 nozzle. Now, let's get into what I promised at the start. We're going to expose some more E15 lies and risks, even for vehicles that aren't on the danger list. The hidden risks of switching to E15. Number 3. The fuel economy sacrifice. For the 4th summer in a row, the government is approving the use of E15 to reduce fuel costs. With the average price of gasoline now around $4, this sounds like a simple solution. On paper, you'll save 5 to 10 cents per gallon. But in reality, you're going to spend a lot more. As we've established, ethanol has about 30% less energy per gallon than pure gasoline. So, to get the same energy output, your engine has to pump more fuel. That means you'll be using 1 to 3% more fuel. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up fast. Let's say you save 5 cents per gallon on E15, but your mileage drops by 2%. If you drive 12,000 miles a year at 30 miles per gallon, you use 400 gallons. That's $20 saved, but with a 2% drop, you now need 408 gallons. At $3.50 per gallon for E10, that's an extra $28 in fuel. You just lost money. Here's what you need to do. Instead of calculating the cost per gallon, calculate the cost per mile. If you rarely drive your car, then you probably won't lose any money. However, it just means you have a different problem to worry about. Number 2. The phase separation trap. When an automaker says a car is compatible with E15, always read the fine print. Yes, your car has ethanol-resistant fuel systems and corrosion-resistant metal components. However, the rules no longer apply to cars that are left idle for months. As ethanol absorbs water from the air, the water-ethanol mixture separates from the gasoline and settles at the bottom of the tank. This is called phase separation. When you eventually start your car, the water-ethanol mixture is pulled into the engine first. This can cause stalling and damage the fuel pump and the injectors. High-pressure fuel pump repairs alone in some cars can cost over $1,500. Add another $1,500, and we're only halfway through the repairs. The remaining gasoline in your tank now has a much lower octane level. That means your engine power and performance will reduce drastically. Worst of all, this leaves you vulnerable to detonation. As we mentioned earlier, even the slightest detonation can knock out your engine permanently. That's another $4,000 minimum in repairs. So, if you don't drive your car often, stick with E10 or use a fuel stabilizer. However, even that is powerless against the final problem. Number 1, the clogged fuel system. This is the threat most drivers should be concerned about. Ethanol is a strong solvent, which means it can clean out carbon deposits left by previous fuels. That sounds like a win until your car stalls on the freeway. Unlike a fuel system cleaner, ethanol doesn't dissolve carbon deposits. It dislodges them. Think of it like kicking a can down the road until it ends up blocking the sewer. Ethanol kicks tiny pieces of varnish from the fuel tank and lines downstream until they get to the fuel filter and injectors. Clogged fuel filters lead to poor fuel delivery, which causes poor combustion, misfires, reduced power, and decreased fuel economy. You'll then have to spend hundreds of dollars on fuel system cleaning, and that's if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, the varnish will find its way to the catalytic converter and coat the internal honeycomb structure. Once this happens, there's no fix. You have to replace the cat converter. As you can see, E15 isn't the fuel-saving solution the government claims it to be. Not only does it cost more than it's worth, but it also requires too many adjustments. If you insist on still using E15, make sure you only get it from our approved stations. Never use these 11 gasoline brands and 5 that protect engine.